I recently sold my basically brand new Tesla Model Y for two reasons. One, my wife said she hated that car, and two, she said I could replace it with anything I wanted. And the car I dreamed about to replace it with, I drove across country to pick it up, is not in the garage. And that's because you don't get to see it yet. Because you see, while I was driving 2,000 miles round trip cross country with my dad to pick up the new car, someone left an angry comment about how I never finished my projects. And that might be true. So you're not gonna get to see my new car until it's completely done. So today, instead of working on or taking a look at my awesome new car, we're actually gonna assemble the perfect toolkit to keep in your car. Because my new car it's not new, it's actually 25 years old, and I do anticipate some small, minor parking lot repairs in the future. And I've actually been working on building the perfect toolkit for your car for a while, and I think I finally nailed it. So today, the perfect toolkit that goes in your car. There's only one problem with building the perfect toolkit, and that's that everyone has an opinion on what the perfect toolkit, perfect toolbox might be. So today, I actually hired an idiot to hang out in my garage with me and tell me how wrong I am about everything I'm gonna suggest today. Say hi, idiot.
Hi, I'm an idiot. And actually, I hope you don't mind, I found this pickle beer in your fridge. It is delicious.
The first thing to figure out when we're assembling our perfect toolkit for the car is what we want to keep the tools in. And I think I found the perfect solution. This is a small nylon tool bag. It's waterproof, it's padded so stuff doesn't rattle around, and it's not too big. It's about 12 inches by 4 inches, maybe an inch or two deep, and this is actually gonna hold everything that I want to carry in the car with me.
Hey, why don't you just use a regular sized toolbox or buy one of those ones with all the tools already in it? Wouldn't that be easier?
Well, idiot, that's a very good thing you pointed out. And actually, I have attempted to make the perfect toolbox for the car a couple times in the past. First time I attempted to do it, I did just buy a pre-made toolkit, like a garage kit or a homeowner's toolkit. And well, it had literally too much stuff. I don't need all of this stuff. I don't need all these sockets and these wrenches and these things. And it didn't have space for things that weren't in the kit. So if I wanted some screwdrivers or adjustable wrenches, there's no space to put the things that I wanted. And then on the second attempt, I got a nice sturdy metal toolbox, and I got tool rolls to keep things organized, and I put sockets in here, and I put wrenches in here, and I put all sorts of stuff in here before I realized I'm basically trying to take my entire garage on the road with me. And if you're going on a long road trip, or you're gonna go fix something or help a friend hang a TV at their house, that could be pretty handy. But we don't want to carry our entire garage. We're gonna carry just what we need for little repairs on the side of the road. And that's why our tiny little tool pouch is perfect. So once we picked out our tool pouch, we're gonna fill it with arguably the most important two items that are gonna go in it. That is a medium-sized, good quality Phillips head and flathead screwdriver.
Hey, can't you just use one of these universal screwdrivers that has all the little bits right in it? Look at these.
Well, idiot, thank you. We're not going to use these universal bit drivers or universal screwdrivers because they all suck. They're pretty commonly really poorly made. Nothing fits right, and the bits on them are garbage. They strip out all the time. And just the ergonomics. Some of them have ratchets and they're weird shapes. And this thing, I would need all sorts of extensions to fit in the same place that a regular screwdriver can. So we're not going to use these. We're going to use regular screwdrivers because these things are just garbage. We have our pouch, we have our screwdrivers, and next we have a very fine selection of wrenches. So the car I just bought is Japanese, it uses a lot of metric wrenches. So I have a 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 13 and 14, basically the four most common sizes of nuts and bolts on my car. And for everything else, an adjustable wrench. Those are going in the toolkit.
Hey, you're not gonna get anything done with all those wimpy little wrenches. Go ahead, I got extra sockets. Throw some of these puppies in there.
If I could just borrow those, thank you very much. That's because this is just way too much stuff to carry around. I thought about putting sockets in this toolkit. Some of the toolkits I've put together for cars before, I did put sockets in. I even went out and found this adjustable, different length, telescopic socket wrench that has different drives on either side of it. I thought it'd be super convenient, super handy, but it's just too much nonsense to carry around. If I am doing a repair on my car that takes the full use of all the different sockets and everything I have in the garage, I'm just gonna take the car home, tow it home, put it on a flatbed, do whatever to get it back and fix it in the garage. I'm not gonna do a good job that requires all these tools in a parking lot or on the side of the road. If I can't fix it with the wrenches and the adjustable wrench in my tool bag, it's not getting fixed on the side of the road. It's going home. The next two items going in the perfect car toolbox are a roll of tape and zip ties. And that's because, well, if you've ever tried to fix anything, you know the number one answer, the thing that's gonna fix it every time is zip ties and tape. So zip ties are going in. Tape, I'm actually using gaff tape. It's similar to duct tape that is very sticky, sticks to everything, but it's not as melty and it comes off a little cleaner. And it's a nice small roll, so it'll fit in the tool bag. And you know what? I could actually use these to quiet the idiot in the corner. Hey, come here, come here. The next few things going in the tool bag are a pair of wire cutters, a small pair of slip joint pliers, and a knife. Specifically, I'm using a box cutter because I just had 100 box cutters lying around. Tiny pair of slip joint pliers. They can undo hose clamps, they can pull nails out of tires. Super handy to have around for things that, you know, your little fingers aren't gonna be able to do. And then wire cutters, always handy. Not the fanciest pair, not the biggest pair. They fit in the bag, you can snip zip ties, you can snip wires, you can cut things caught up in an axle with them. These are gonna be great. And idiot, do you not have anything to say about the most recent selection? And the last thing we're gonna put in our perfect tool pouch is things specific to the car. So the new car that I'll be driving, I already replaced the wheels on it and it's got this special spline adapter for the lug nut, so that's pretty handy. Gonna keep that in the tool bag so it's actually with the car. And the car has a ton of these plastic little clips that hold on body panels, interior panels, and if you need to change a light bulb on a taillight, which I've already done, you need to pop these out. So I'm actually gonna pull a little panel popper tool, put it in the tool bag as well. And since these clips always break, we're actually gonna throw a couple extra clips in the tool bag also. Idiot, do you have anything to say about these either? It's just so much nicer and quieter in here.
Hey, how's your tiny little toolkit gonna help me with a dead battery or a flat tire?
Okay, the idiot might not be wrong on this one. My tool pouch, which is perfect and beyond reproach, isn't gonna help me if I have a dead battery or a flat tire. But what will help me with a dead battery is a jump box. So if I'm going camping or going on a road trip, I'll usually throw one of these in the back of the car. But since my new car is 25 years old and it does have a tiny, tiny starting battery in it, I bought one specifically just to keep in the trunk of the car. You could use jumper cables. I like using the battery banks, the self jumpers, because you don't have to rely on someone else being around with a good battery to jump you. The only trick is you have to make sure they're charged. So maybe every time you change the oil in your car, you just plug this in, top it off. I know eventually I'll have a dead battery, I'll have forgotten to charge this and it's not gonna help me, but at least it makes me feel better at night. The spare tire one is actually a very good and entirely different question. So any new car I've bought in the last 10 to 15 years hasn't had a spare tire. The 25-year-old car I bought did have a spare tire and is currently on the floor of my garage. I can't find the date code on this tire, but if I could, it would probably say something like 99 or 2000. So the jack, all the spare tire stuff, it isn't in the car right now. Every new car, like I said, that hasn't had spare tire, well, they give you an air pump and they give you a can of goo or a can of Fix-A-Flat. So I do have an air pump to throw in this car. I don't know, is it worth it to put a new tire on here and keep it in the trunk? The new car is tiny and I actually have been using that space for things like groceries when I go to the grocery store with it. So I don't know, should I just get a can of goo and keep the air compressor in there and hope that gets me home? Or should I just put a new tire on this and put this back in the car and not be able to use that space for storage? I can't think of a new car I've bought in the last 10 years that actually came with a spare tire that wasn't an SUV or a truck. So I don't know, please let me know in the comments below what to do in this situation. The idiot was right. And speaking of the idiot, it looks like he got into the pickle moonshine. So let me know what you think about what I consider to be the perfect toolkit for my 25-year-old new car. If you think I did something wrong, if you agree with the idiot, or if there's something else that you would put in the toolkit or you think that I'm missing, I'd love to hear it. And I guess I'm gonna scrape this guy off the floor and go tuck him into bed because he's just a tired little idiot. I heard the door, here comes Demery. She's gonna ask if I'm recording something and then she's gonna act like she doesn't wanna be on the camera. Here we go, ready? The door's gonna open. Hey. What's up?
Have the dogs been fed?
I've not fed the dogs.
Feed the dogs.
Yeah, they got some treats. I gave them some garage treats.
Okay.
How was your run?
It was good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I have
Okay.
no idea how far I ran. I want to say it was 3 miles.
300 miles.
Yep, that's what it was.
Good job.
Thanks. Okay, sorry. I'll let you go.
You're good.